songs of our lives. Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Songs of Our Lives. I'm Brad Rose. I'm an artist, a composer, a writer, the founder of Foxy, Digitalis, and someone who thinks about music and sound far more than is healthy. Each week, I invite on a guest to talk about the music and songs that have meant a lot to them and left its mark. Previous guests include Leah Bertucci, Patrick Shirishi. Suddenly, I'm blanking, even though this is 126 episodes. Which is ridiculous. Ben Saratan. Hey, there's one. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of amazing episodes out there. And this one is no different. This week, I am super excited to have Caroline Davis on the show. Woo! She has a new album that came out, I think about a month ago, maybe a little less, called Fallows. It is her first ever solo saxophone and electronics album. And I don't want to pretend that I know Caroline well. This is literally the first time we've ever talked is this episode, but I've been a huge admirer of her work and her playing for a long time and all the different things she does. Cause she does so much and is always doing cool stuff. But this one, and I feel like I said this, I wrote a review of this on Foxy Digitalis a couple weeks ago. It just feels like it's this moment where you hear a side of an artist for the first time. And in some ways, to me, it just feels like this very, maybe one of the sort of purest expressions of her whole thing, like her whole practice as one really sort of, I hate to say definitive, but it's this statement. It's this really, I don't know. Fallows is amazing. It's easily one of my favorite records of the year so far. I return to it a lot because there's she just does so much with it. Obviously the thing that always drew me to Caroline's work, I love the way she plays the saxophone. She's one of my favorite saxophone players on the planet. And, I'm just a huge fan. And so the great thing, you get that, so there are times where, it's that's what I'm interested in hearing. I'll put this on and I get all of that itch scratch, but then there's so much more the way that she's composing and putting things together on this record feels very different than anything else she's done. Obviously the electronic textures and all those elements, it's something different but you can really hear and feel the connection to the way she approaches saxophone and her playing there, with how those elements are. I don't know. It's an amazing record, and if you haven't heard it, you should hear it. So anyway, all that's to say, this episode was a lot of fun. And yeah, just go buy Fallows, listen to this thing. I hope you all enjoy it. My guest today is a musician, a composer, one hell of a saxophone player, an activist. It's Caroline Davis. Welcome to the show. Woo, 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 woo.
Hi. Thanks for having me on, Brad.
Absolutely. So you've got a new record that just came out a couple weeks ago called Fallows on Rope-A-Dope, and it's your debut saxophone and electronics album. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah. I did do a very short record because my car broke down on the side of the road, and the best thing I knew to do to honor the person who helped me, because I was really stranded, and this really amazingly kind and generous man stopped and helped me to get things going again. I just basically recorded a really short EP for him and sent it to him on his first CD. But so that's out there, but it's not really anywhere near what's going on in this new one.
Okay, I love that. That's the best. Yeah, I have done similar things where somebody helped me. I was like, I don't know what to do, so I'm gonna write you a song.
Yeah, exactly.
So okay, well, so this record, it came out. You did a residency in Wyoming, And I'm curious, like, the time there, and like, especially like where you were with that much space and quiet. How did that actually feel to work in? And like, was that disorienting at all, or did like the music and stuff like come pretty quickly?
Yeah, I think it's disorienting to be in a quiet space because I live in New York City. So it's
Sure.
always, totally saturated here and at times overwhelming. But no, I loved being in the space. And one of the biggest parts of being in a residency like that is being around other artists who are also working on things. So it's really inspiring to be there with a person working on a novel or someone who is working on, the woman who did the artwork for the record. Her name is Tulu Bayer. She's Turkish, and she was taking like natural elements from the land that had, like grass there and parts of trees that had fallen off, and making paper for her artwork. And amazing. So there were just many people there that were really inspiring to me. So it wasn't disorienting in that way. I definitely had a lot of inspiring moments from these human beings and all the food that was offered to us. And yeah, the nature, there's a lot of commotion going on in nature. So I would say that it's oddly similar to what's going on here in the city.
Did you, the woman who did that, did you know her before this residency, or did you guys meet there?
Yeah, we met at the residency, and cool. I was just like really taken aback by her process and how she was weaving. She uses all these different kinds of texture in her work, like the paper that she makes, and then she's weaving thread into the paper, and amazing. She's also painting onto the paper, and she also uses like color pencils to fill out some of the other aspects of the thread on the paper. And it was really just, I couldn't stop thinking about it. So I was like, could you do something for me? And so we talked about it, cool. And she made something that really captured the essence of our time there. So
that's the best. Oh, that's so good. There's this phrase in the press materials where it talks about entering a zone where expectations fell away. And I'm curious, like, how do you get there? Is that something that sort of happened gradually over the time you were there, or did it feel more immediate, or, like, and it kind of makes sense considering what this record is compared to maybe what you're known for or whatever you want to say, like, this was very unexpected to me when it came through my inbox. I was like, oh my gosh, what? So yeah.
Well, yeah, I think when I'm writing music for other people in these other projects, I'm really thinking about the people who are going to be playing the music. And so I have to say that this record was just all for me. It's for me. So it's a little bit, in the sense of selfishness or narcissism or whatever. But it was really like, I was, sort of making music that I was sort of the things that I like to play on the instrument and sounds that I like, pitch groupings that I like, textures that I really like, going into people who really influenced me and taught me how to do what I'm doing here, even if I didn't know them personally. Like, I think I mentioned to a lot of people the importance of Steve Lacy and Connie Carruthers, who I didn't get to meet, but the other two people, Jerry Allen and Thich Nhat Hanh, I was fortunate to meet and work with Jerry, but I wasn't that close to Thich Nhat Hanh. He's more of a public figure, but I did get to meet him and spend like a week with him at this meditation. So anyway, so I was kind of going deeply into just experiences that I've had. You know how you have these pictures and all of these things saved on your computer. And so I was kind of going back to a lot of these things and trying to figure out what had been meaningful to me and what I wanted to put on here for other people to listen to and understand me in a different sort of way beyond the music I make with other people.
Yeah. One of the, talking about, like, you're saying the sounds that you like or the techniques you like. That's one of the things that really kind of stands out to me is all the different, like, saxophone sounds across the record. I keep thinking specifically about, I think it's Underground, where the aluminum can is like, that was it's kind of startling and exciting and thrilling and all of these things. And I'm just curious, like, what's the process of discovering some of those like extended techniques or different techniques for this album?
Yeah, well, I have to say that I'm not the first person to do this on the saxophone, and someone who's doing this constantly now these days is soprano saxophonist, an amazing human being, Sam Newsome. And I had the fortunate time to play with Sam in a quartet of soprano saxophones that he organized. And it was just so cool to understand his process for attaching wind chimes and these other tubes to the mouthpiece and balloons. He's preparing the saxophone in these other ways. And so it was already sort of on my mind and really captivating for me to experience as a player. And when I was in Ucross, I was thinking about that a lot. And I'm like, oh, well, what's around here? You know, and I had these cans of seltzer and I was just kind of using a lot of different objects and dragging these objects across the saxophone to see what would kind of come across more. And that was really captivating to me, just these different ways of rubbing the bell, which is how the whole track starts, is like I'm rubbing just the bell, dragging the can on the bell. And then there's moments where the can is full of water, and there's moments when I'm like moving with the water in the can in the bell, inside the bell, and then kind of twisting it inside. And there's also me dragging the can across the saxophone keys and just trying to figure out like what would be an interesting sound that people haven't really explored before. I was just looking into what could be interesting in terms of what the saxophone texture of the body of the horn, the metal of the horn, and how it interacts with other mediums, how that can be communicated on a recording. And like I said, there's a lot of people doing this. I'm not the only person. And there's a lot of people doing this on the piano. You know, prepared piano is probably more of a common aspect of music that we all know as listeners. Like doing this with, and string instruments, a lot of people will do a lot of preparations for string instruments, but like brass and saxophone is a lesser known prepared object. But there's so many people here in New York, improvisers who I really love, who are already doing this. So it's been inspiring to try to do it myself.
Yeah, I think that's I've seen a lot of people do different things with string instruments. I was at a performance this weekend where this woman was playing hammered dulcimer and was getting people to just pull stuff out of their pockets and was like preparing things in real time from what people had. But I think one of the first, this is years ago now, but I remember seeing video of Laura Cox playing flute with the balloon and different things, and it was kind of just blew my mind at the time. And I think that's a really good point, though. I don't think a lot of people think about how like brass and woodwind instruments, it's like, yeah, there's all sorts of weird fun preparations you can do there too to get different sounds. So speaking of different sounds, this is an odd segue, but the organelle feels like it's like a real sort of creative presence on this record. And I think I mentioned in my review that this may be the thing that finally puts me over the edge to get one. But I'm curious how that instrument helped sort of shape the music, and like kind of what drew you to the organelle over maybe other electronics.
Yeah, I like the organelle and how it's a community platform. I like how it's open source and people are sharing their patches with each other on the forum, and how everyone's allowing use of these, this special part of technology. I really love all that. Just the idea of free platforms and community driven society is really important to my whole life. So, and also is a reason for why I'm a staunch activist for certain elements of our society, like for prison abolition and gender in music specifically. And I think it's nice to have something that's compact. It's nice to not have to travel with a whole pedal board. I like that aspect of it. And I like the aspect of being able to play with drum patches and synthesis on this device, and how it's not I love how it's not a computer, although I know the capabilities of technology using computer. I just was last night. I just went to go see Iku Amori and Billy Martin play at the Stone, and it was, she was using Macs and like an OP1 and then like a little mixer. And it was just so good. And I was like, "Oh, what are you using your laptop?" And she was like, I'm using Macs." And I'm like, "Yeah, it sounds so great." So I'm not knocking any of that.
Right.
And also I haven't really gotten into the world of Macs. I mean, I started getting into the world of Pure Data through the organelle because it works using the patches through Pure Data. So I got into that, but I haven't really been able to sit down and learn Macs or deal with Macs. So there's a whole world waiting for me there. But yeah, I just loved how compact it is and how it's, they respond to your messages, and I don't know.
Oh,
it's
that's
all
nice.
it's all just kind of a nice community, and the forum really a wonderful place. So
and I just love the wooden keys. It's they just look really pretty, which well, I want to talk about. I want to ask you. You mentioned it, so like your sort of activism work, however you want to call it. But can you quickly talk about Creatives Beyond Carceration? Because that's a subject that I'm very passionate about. I worked in corrections education for a number of years, and that's I'm collaborating now. There's a gallery in town that works exclusively with incarcerated artists, and we're working on some like collaboration things with incarcerated artists and local artists. And it's, I think about access a lot of when it comes to music and art and all these things, and how I feel like everybody has we all have a creative practice in us, and it's like the structures that keep it from being expressed by a lot of people. And this becomes particularly apparent with people who are incarcerated. And I often feel like it's the group that is so forgotten and left out of so many things. So anyway, I'm just curious. Like, I was really excited when I was kind of prepping for this and reading about Creatives Beyond Carceration and all that. So if you could talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I started, letter writing in the pandemic, mostly because I wanted to interact with my family, because I have a family member who was previously incarcerated, and they didn't really want to talk about it that much. And so I started trying to more find a community of people who could talk about the impact of incarceration on families. And so there's plenty of people around here also who are doing this work, including collaborators like Albert Marquez, who's the person who's in charge of this organization called Freedom First that helps Keith Lamar, who's on death row for a crime he commit. And then I became friends with some other people who are connected to the Black Panther Party, veterans of the Black Panther Party. And I'm in communication with them and community members here who are part of an organization called HALA, which stands for How Our Lives Link All Together. And they're constantly trying to educate people beyond the model of schools. And a lot of it has to do with like the Black Power movement and how, wealth and power is distributed in this country based on race and gender and ableism and all these aspects of intersectionality that we don't really talk about. So I started getting into it, and then people found out about that. So now I'm part of a few different organizations. And I just wanted a place for people to come together to share their work that, was artistic and that interacted with the prison industrial complex in some shape. So that's why I started that group, Creatives Beyond Incarceration. And it's been really nice. I've been just doing 2 meetings a year, which is really small, but it's what I can do. Beyond that, I do a lot of prison visits. I've gone to youth facilities in Oregon, and I do the Sing Sing program here in Austin, in New York, with this organization called Musicambia, where we do a music program inside of Sing Sing.
Oh, wow.
And then I've done some visits to friends who were on the inside, not that many, but to Ohio State Penitentiary, and then Solano, which is California State Penitentiary. But yeah, I mean, my work is just ongoing, and I often wish that I could do more. And I'm excited about the future. And tonight, I even have a meeting tonight with this record label called Freer Records that puts records out from only incarcerated people or previously incarcerated people. I'm on the board now, and the people who run that label, Fury Young and B.L. Sherrill, they are just like tirelessly working to put out wonderful music and give access to people who are in prison. And that's been really amazing to be a part of that community. So, so many things to be grateful for and play a small role in.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. There's there's a exhibition that just opened a couple weeks ago here by Kenny Reams, who he was on death row for 31 years, and it's called Who Lives, Who Dies, Who Decides, and it's basically about the death penalty in America, and it's like it was co-created with his wife, who does all the communication and everything for him, and it just kind of it's like one of the most incredible things I've ever seen. And I just get really excited when I hear other people are involved in this kind of work and stuff too, because I think it's so important, and I think it's really cool that you're doing that. And hey, 2 meetings a year is 2 meetings. That's 2 more than, yeah. It's this is where it's like, I wish I could just like make a copy of myself, and I don't really want to do that, but
I'll have to look that up. Who lives, who dies, who decides, you said?
Yeah. And I don't know if it's like a traveling thing, because I know my friend who runs, it's called Just Arts, is the gallery organization program she runs. Like, she helped sort of put it together. So I don't know if it's like a traveling thing, or if it's like this one-time thing that's happening here because of that connection. But it's really incredible. And I don't know if anybody in Tulsa is listening to this, go see it. All right. I got no good segue now into the sort of meat of the show. So we're just going to switch awkwardly. So, and start talking about all these songs. And as always, we're going to start with, what is the first song that you remember?
I remember Michael Jackson Beat It.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I mean, as problematic of a figure is that he is. I don't know. My mom was in town, and we just went to go see MJ the musical. So it was interesting to see this other perspective. And I actually think they do a pretty good job of telling the story, and definitely, bringing up some of the issues. But anyway, I don't know. I love that song when I was a little baby. There's footage of me dancing to that song, and
that's great.
I remember being captivated by it. But it's funny. My mom, I grew up in Singapore, and so not a lot of Black people there. And I think we traveled a lot, and we were going somewhere on a plane, and there was a Black person as a flight attendant there, and I was very young, probably like 2, and I just screamed out, or between 2 and 3, and I just screamed out like, Michael Jackson. Oh yeah. My mom told me this story, and I just had no idea. And luckily this guy had like he laughed, and had a good attitude about the whole thing. But it's like to think about that. But I really, really loved Michael Jackson in general, like all of his songs.
Yeah, I mean, it's like that guitar riff is one of the best. I still get it in my head randomly. That's amazing. What is a song that either makes you cry, or if it doesn't actually make you cry, makes you just feel that kind of way?
Bonnie Raitt, I Can't Make You Love Me. Yeah, that song Her music in general is really effective to me, but that one specifically, just, coming from family members who were very busy, had very busy lives, and kind of the process of being an only, like, growing up as an only child. I have a half brother, but we didn't grow up together. So just the idea of just like, okay, you're on your own and you're doing this thing. And there is a lot of joy in that song and a lot of empathy. So I really love her voice, and that song rules. I think maybe that's one of the songs I've listened to so many hundreds of times, probably.
It's like, I mean, that song is a masterpiece, and it's like that. Just the main lyric is such this like straightforward, beautiful, and just brutal line, and I feel like it's something we've all felt that, like, and it's I don't know, it's I think this song has come up a couple times on this, and every time I prep for it and listen to this a couple times, it just it just kills me. It's so good, but it's so I feel it's also like if you had to explain human vulnerability to an alien civilization, just play this song.
yeah, definitely.
So good. Okay, well, on the other side of that, what is a song that will put you in a better mood?
Billy Preston, Nothing from Nothing. So good. I think I think there's like a connection to Saturday Night Live. I think he maybe was the first musician to play on Saturday Night Live, and that was also like a important show to my childhood. But I think later on, I had learned from this gender course that I teach at the New School with my friend Sarah Elizabeth Charles, who's also an amazing musician. I learned from doing that class and getting into certain artists. Like we spotlight certain artists who haven't been given a lot of credit in the jazz community over time in the history books. And one of those people is Mahalia Jackson. And I also learned that Billy Preston played organ for Mahalia Jackson, which is amazing.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he was very young, I think, when he started doing that. But I love that song. It's just so joyful. And
I know.
Of course he played with the Beatles, and he wrote some, I think he wrote a song that the Beatles covered and all these other things. And he's just, all of his music just makes me want to get up and dance,
Yeah. That's like one of my notes here. It's like, how can you listen to this and not get up and move? I don't know. It seems impossible. I don't think I'd ever actually seen the video for this song. And so, like, as usually when I'm preparing for this, I use YouTube, and gosh, the video itself is just pure joy. Just, it's so good. I just love everything about it. Okay. Well, everybody's favorite question. What is objectively the best song of all time?
I really struggle with this because this is, I don't know.
There's answer no real answer here.
It's really, really tough for me. I guess right now my answer is Judee Sill, "The Kiss," and I know a lot of people love that song.
Yeah, but it's a perfect song, so
yeah.
And of course,
of course she had sort of she never really kind of got her flowers. I feel like a lot of musicians give her flowers, and she had a stunning career as far as I'm concerned. I think Graham Nash and David Crosby recognized her, and of course, like, she got this contract with Atlantic Records. David Geffen. Like, I think he, really helped out her career.
Right.
But there's other songs of hers that I love, like Jesus Was a Crossmaker. I really love the lyrics of that song. Being knowing that that Jesus was just like a regular guy. He was just a carpenter,
I know.
And Jesus was a crossmaker anyway. So, and I don't know, just her as a person. She was just, I consider myself to be I play a lot of different kinds of music. Like my mom was just visiting the other day and she saw me play 3 different shows, like one pop show, and then I played a solo show, and then I played with this like more kind of open, free jazz group. And she's like, wow, I just like haven't seen you. I'm like, yeah, I do a lot of different things. And so I really resonate with her as a person who played organ in church, and she was songwriting, and she played multiple instruments. And I just, that part of her personality and identity is, I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. She's, yeah, I don't have anything to add because you just said it all. So, but I mean, like this song, I feel this way about a number of her songs. It feels, I don't know, it feels almost sacred or something. Like it's something, this sort of hymn that's been carried across different lifetimes, and it's just what a song. Yeah.
And then I think my other answer is Joe Henry. The other God Only Knows, which was written by Joe Henry, and who is of course like one of the greatest songwriters in my opinion. And I love the way he creates music, and he's had some jazz musicians on his record. I'm pretty sure Ornette played on one of his records, Scar.
Bill Frisell plays on this song.
And Bill Frisell, yeah, exactly. And then also like Henry Joe Henry's produced a lot for Bonnie Raitt, and she sings this song on her record, which is called Slipstream. And I'm a massive Bonnie Raitt fan, so I love the lyrics to the song so very much. Let me see. So lovers laugh and cross this way, weaving out into the street. It seems we never were so young, or it was never quite so sweet. But the world is always beautiful when it is seen in full retreat. The worst of life looks beautiful as it slips away in full retreat. It's just, I'm almost about to cry because it's just so like a daily, reminder that not everything is always visible. Like the beauty of life is often invisible. And that's actually kind of a cool superhero trait of many of us forget, invisibility. So
I think I feel like this is a song that hurts in a good way. It's amazing song. And I haven't heard the Bonnie Raitt version, so I'm gonna look that up.
That's how I actually didn't hear his version until later. Like her version is what is important to me.
Okay, I'm excited to hear that. I'm sure that's. I'll mentally prepare myself. Okay. Well, what is a song that you used to love, but you've heard it recently? If you think about it now, it doesn't quite do it for you in the same way.
Yeah, I mean, I was struggling with knowing what to say here because I feel like even if a song is not my favorite anymore, it's still nostalgic, and so I still just like it. But so when I was living in Atlanta, I really loved Boyz II Men. They were like one of my favorite groups, and also En Vogue. En Vogue and Boyz II Men were just top spins in my Walkman. And so I guess I would say Boyz II Men. I guess now it would be like Motown Philly, which is another song of theirs, but I think originally I'd written I'll Make Love to You, which is, also was a song that I really loved when I was that age, but now I'm like, I don't know, or End of the Road, like 1991 or 1992, these songs that also came out on this record, Cooley High Harmony. And I was so just in love with their group and what they did. Yeah. I'll Make Love to You. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. End of the Road. Like all those things really. Yeah. Probably I'll Make Love to You. I'm not really, doesn't do it for me as it did back then, I guess.
End of the Road, or like It's So Hard to Say. Those are kind of like, those still, I don't know. Those still kind of do it for me. Those are good.
It's just like so hard to answer that question because it really, everything still kind of sticks with me. I will say that I mean, there have been saxophone players that I used to listen to a lot when I was younger as a jazz musician that don't do it for me anymore.
Sure.
Like, I just don't
Yeah.
listen to them the same way. I still have a lot of respect for them, but it's more like improvisers for me that I just don't listen to their music that much. And you go through phases and stuff. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I have stuff that was really formative for me when I was younger, and at the time it was like the perfect sort of gateway into where I wanted to go, and so now it just doesn't do it the same. But I still have an appreciation for it and stuff. But
I did get to go and see Boyz II Men in concert, which was. I saw Boyz II Men and MC Hammer in concert, like in Atlanta, 1991, in the height of this. Like it was really a special moment for me. And my mom surprised me with tickets.
Oh, that's amazing.
Pretended that we were going to eat dinner near the venue, and then she surprised me with these tickets, and I was.
Oh, that's the best! Oh, I love that. That's so good. I bet. Yeah. God. Yeah. I never got to see. I remember I saw New Kids on the Block twice.
I saw them too. Yeah. My mom also helped me get those tickets and escorted us to the concert, and was very worried because at one point someone like took their shirt off and threw it into the audience, and then a sea of girls, like a sea of tiny 11-year-old girls were just fighting over it. And she pulled me back by the collar of my shirt. No, you're not doing that.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if I've told this story on this podcast, my New Kids on the Block story. So when they came to Tulsa, I think I was in 5th or 6th grade. I don't know. I have a sister who's a couple years older. And so we were all going to the concert. It was like my mom picked us up from school because we had heard what hotel they were staying at and wanted to go stalk them or whatever. I don't know. And so we're in this parking lot behind the hotel where we see their tour buses, and we're just all kind of roaming around looking at the tour buses, and I kind of wander off to look at one of the other buses, and this black van pulls up next to me, and this door opens, and this dude's like, "Hey kid, come here." Me being an idiot 10-year-old, I'm like, "Okay," and get in this van. Meanwhile, my sister and my mom are freaking out thinking I'm about getting kidnapped. But then in the back of the van was Donnie Wahlberg and was like,
"Oh my God,
what's up, man?" And so everybody, they all come running over anyway. Because of my stupidity, my sister and all her friends and myself got to meet Donnie Wahlberg. So, and not get kidnapped.
Amazing.
Yeah. Wow. So, that's my New Kids on the Block story. Probably the most like famous person I've ever, because they were like at their height at that point where they were like the most famous people in the world practically. So it's been all downhill since. Anyway, okay, what is a song that most people hate? I don't know who these people are. Some group of people, they hate it. You don't care. You love it anyway.
Basically anything by Huey Lewis in the News, but really mostly Huey Lewis in the News, Hip to Be Square from the record 4, which was 1986. Like that whole entire record, I love every single song. I can sing along with every word. I feel like this record was given terrible reviews by, like Rolling Stone or all these other reviewing places. But I feel like it did really well with the fans.
Right.
But and also do this song called Jacob's Ladder that was written by Bruce Hornsby, and I have recently been going back and listening to a lot of Bruce Hornsby because he just came out with a new record like a week ago or something, and I didn't realize that he wrote that song. He wrote Jacob's Ladder, which is on 4 Huey Lewis in the News 4.
Wow, I didn't know.
But yeah, just really interesting because they kind of just play it the way he played it too. But it just anyway, I love Hip to Be Square. I love that song.
I got a real soft spot for Huey Lewis in general, and I think this song is a banger, and I'm with you. So everybody else is wrong. So now you got to do a Huey Lewis cover at some point.
I don't know if that's in the cards, but maybe. Yeah, maybe if I lost my mind,
Yeah. Yeah, if we see your Huey Lewis covers record come out, it's like, somebody check on Caroline. Something's
Somebody
going
check
on.
on her. Yeah, something's happening. Yeah.
Okay, well, do you think of yourself as a romantic?
Yeah, I think so. It's sometimes difficult to find the time here in New York to be.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to find my way back to it all, but definitely feel that with music, especially. Yeah.
So what is the most romantic song?
That's just, yeah. Also, these are such difficult questions, but I guess my choice is D'Angelo. How does it feel? Which is also like a sexy song. It's both.
Yeah,
both of those things.
Yeah,
but I love R&B music. I was living in Atlanta, as I mentioned before, at a certain moment in my life, from basically age 7 to 12, and so we lived, sort of, we lived in the city, and so a lot of my friends were listening to, not D'Angelo because he wasn't really around yet, but like we were listening to En Vogue, and I mean, he was around, but I didn't know about D'Angelo until later. I think I started listening to him much later. But anyway, I was listening to all this R&B and gospel music in that early part of my life, and so when he started releasing these records, I was just like totally taken aback. And there is honestly, like, this music that he put out is just, it's so good.
It's unbelievable.
Brown Sugar, like these in the 90s, Brown Sugar, just incredible. And all of his work with Lauryn Hill, and the fact that Roy Hargrove, the trumpet player, was on these records. And he was somebody I also really looked up to as a jazz musician, and also myself spending time in Texas, and him also being very connected with the Dallas community and having gone to school at the conservatory in Dallas, which I didn't go to, but was just on my radar for all these important musicians. I don't know. He's one of my favorite musicians, and he's written some of my favorite songs, period.
Yeah. Totally. It really amazed when I think of his, like, the fact that he only released 3 albums blows my mind, just because they're and in some way it's like you kind of get it because of how much work and care goes into each one of these songs. I mean, everything is just so, I don't know. I think he's sort of one of the all-time great songwriters, performers, everything that ever existed. So and I still remember when I like, because Voodoo was, I mean, that record was life-changing in a way, but I still remember when Black Messiah just sort of came out unannounced out of nowhere at the end of the year, and it was I still remember somebody texted me, I can't remember who it was, a friend of mine was like, did you know there's a new D'Angelo album? I was like, what are you talking about? And then it's just like this most incredible, I miss those kind of things where people, like someone like that, would just out of nowhere, nobody had any idea, just like drop a record.
Yeah, it's annoying sometimes with all the lead time and just like, okay, getting record comes out in 6 months. But that was special. And rest in peace. I can't believe that he passed away last year, and that was a big shock for so many of us. I mean, I know that he was struggling with cancer, and like pancreatic cancer maybe, and
I
just
think it was,
so sad. Like that part of him leaving us also. But I was lucky to see him. Live, and that was a special moment here at Afropunk in New York.
Man. Whew. Okay, next. What? So I don't think you had an answer for a song that changed your perspective on an artist. Am I right?
Oh, I think I did. That one skipped. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's fine.
That's a great question. A song that changed my perspective on an artist for better or worse. All these questions I really had to think hard about.
I
don't have an answer
people
for that.
really.
Sorry.
That's all right. I think you picked 3 in the pick 2 section to make up for it, so I think we're good. And also, there's no rules here, and none of it matters. That sounded really bleak. I didn't mean that. Lyrics. Let's talk about lyrics. So, what are some of your favorite lyrics?
Okay, so I'm sorry. I was making sure I have the right ones pulled up before I make a fool of myself. But yeah, Brian Wilson from the album Surf's Up and the song Till I Die. I know this is a big one for a lot of people. But Brian Wilson is one of the greatest songwriters of all time. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm a cork on the ocean. Like, I mean, just, I don't know. It really pulls me in to a point. I can't explain how I feel, but I'm a cork on the ocean floating on the raging sea. But I think my favorite lyric is really in the chorus. I'm a rock in a landslide rolling over the mountains. How deep is the valley? How deep is the valley? To me, it's really, I can relate to this almost every day. Like, how deep is the ocean? I lost my way, you know? There's just so many lyrics in this song that relate to just the experience every day. And I think we all do. And to feel the comfort of it, even though it's a little bit dark. I kind of like things that are a little dark, but that are hopeful. It's hopeful in this weird way, you know?
I mean, I think that's one of the things that makes like this song and a lot of his stuff so powerful is that he's able to kind of, it's like, I mean, this is therapy speak, but it's both and, right? He holds both of those things and expresses them and does it in a way that I can't think of many people that really have.
Yeah. And so, I chose 3 for this question. Sorry. Yeah. But lyrics are a big deal to me. And I hope to someday put out like a solo record of me singing songs. That's kind of a dream for me. I do have a project that I sing called My Treat with my partner, Ben Hoffman. And we've put out a couple records together. And so that's an opportunity for me to sing songs. But anyway, so my second choice here is Bob Dylan, Boots of Spanish Leather. Speaking of romance, it's really, wow. It's what a love letter to his love as he's like leaving her, which is also dark and just such a prevailing stereotype of the man to always leave the woman, you know? So I don't know. I sometimes relate to this in certain ways because I am also traveling and leaving a lot.
Right.
But yeah, my favorite lyric in this song, you know, is there something I can send you from across the sea, from the place that I'll be landing? From the coast of Madrid, from the coast of Barcelona, from the mountains of Madrid, from the coast of Barcelona. Yeah, and if I had the stars from the darkest night and the diamonds from the deepest ocean, I'd forsake them all for your sweet kiss. It's wow. It's so. I mean, what a letter. What a letter.
I know. That's like, those are the things. It's like, oh, we all want to hear that someday. Like, or feel that, or just like, you know.
Well, I love the song.
Yeah. Beautiful song.
Yeah. And then Joni Mitchell. I'm picking some of the
it's
more
all the heavy hitters.
I'm picking some of the more obvious choices for songwriting here, but I
mean, there's a reason there, you know.
Yeah. And this record though, I came to more recently, which is so this record, wait a second, is called Turbulent Indigo. Yes. It's from the 90s, Joni from the 90s. And this song apparently is about Job. It's called The Sire of Sorrow. And apparently it's a song for Job. And so there's this biblical reference, but I love the darkness of it. Why give me light and then this dark without a dawn? Love that lyric.
So good.
Yeah, just like, why is my life such shit? But also, thank you. And thank you for the hope and the blessings, you know?
Yeah. It's, and nothing to do with the lyrics, but also Wayne Shorter is on this.
Yeah, Wayne Shorter is on this track. Absolutely. And that's another part of the song that is just so good and relates to people who have completely influenced me. And I love that there are musicians in our world who do this, who like play with songwriters like that. And Herbie Hancock and Jaco Pastorius and Wayne Shorter and all these musicians who've played with musicians, folk musicians like that, or songwriters.
Yeah, totally. Well, I mean, geez, those are all amazing picks. I can't say anything. I mean, that I will say, like, I think that Till I Die is, I don't know. It comes up a lot. I think that you can make a really strong case can be made for it being like objectively the best song of all time too. Because I think that is one of that whole album is, I mean, it's for me, it is the Beach Boys album, but like that song in particular is, everything about it is just like majestic. I don't know. I love it. What song have you or can you listen to the most?
Yeah, I chose 3. Sorry.
You kind of chose 4, actually.
I chose 4. I'm sorry. John Coltrane, After the Rain. What a perfect. That's a perfect song.
It is a perfect song.
And I haven't done a very good job as a saxophone player of choosing instrumental songs here. But that song is like that's one of the best songs of all time. And there's no lyrics and there's no or whatever. But this is on a live record, Impressions, but he doesn't play this live. He recorded this in the studio, in 1963. It's like kind of this compilation where they're putting different songs on this record. But that's the first time that I have heard it, is on this record called Impressions. But it's interesting if you go and look at the liner notes and everything, because this was a studio recording. So it's a perfect song. And I've heard people try to play the song, and it's just his version and the way he plays the song. It's his song. He did. Have you
heard Jeff Parker's version of this?
Oh yeah, yes, of course.
That one, because he doesn't play a horn on it, so it's like, no, I think that's the way you gotta. If you're gonna do it, you can't play. Yeah,
like, I've never played that song. It's too special for me to even touch. But just his version is gorgeous. Yes. But and then Jeff Buckley, Lover, You Should Have Come Over. That's also another very romantic song and just so heart-wrenching. And I love the harmonic progression of that song. It's very influential to me. And he's just such a master of harmony and texture and putting you in the place of the rain coming down and the picture, the story of just like toiling love. Like, wow, what a gorgeous song. And then Donny Hathaway, You've Got a Friend. Donny Hathaway's version of You've Got a Friend. I love his version from Live at the Bitter End in New York City. This is a Carole King song, as we know, but his version is is just beyond for me. I mean, I think, I respect Carole King and her songwriting and her voice and all of her contributions, but I love Donny Hathaway so much. And then there's the version with Roberta Flack that's also equally as good, but I love the version where he's like playing piano and keyboards at the bitter end. And the guy comes on and welcome to the bitter end, and like then at the end they're like, please get out. It's just such a New York venue where they're like, the show is over, please leave. It's all on there, it's all on the record. And bitter end, I've been there so many times. And anyway, and then also Jealous Guy, which is from the same record, but that song's written by John Lennon, and his version is I don't want nobody talking to you. He's just like brings so you to it's so funky, it's so good, and he has the best voice in the world and the planet.
I think you could do like a whole episode of the show that was just all Donny Hathaway. Frankly. And maybe I'll do that someday.
Please.
Okay. What is the last song you completely fell in love with?
Okay, so I had recently gone back through another obsession with Elliott Smith. So I'll start there because his music has just been, it's also depressing. Some of his music is depressing, like this, the self-titled second record. I think it's his second record and it's called Elliott Smith, I believe. I can't really listen to that record. I don't. And I think there's a pretty famous song on there that I'm forgetting right now, but I don't engage with that as much. But one record that I really love is Either Or, and the song Independence Day. I love that song. There's, Future Butterfly. It's like so the perfect set of lyrics. Gonna make you high, or gonna spend the day higher than high. That's what it is. And you'll be beautiful. You'll be beautiful confusion. Yeah, I just wow. He's another dark. All these people I'm realizing are very dark. They just had troubled lives. Judee Sill and Johnny Hathaway, even some troubled lives. But I love Elliott Smith. I love his music. It's at the top of my list. I really love that song. And then Juana Molina from her newer record called Daga. I think it's called Daga. And there's a song on there called Intringulado. And Juana Molina is Argentinian. She used to be like a television star in Argentina, a comedian, and now she's been a musician for a long time, and she's so good at looping, playing with electronics, and that's been a really big influence for me, and especially on this record that I put out. She's a big one for me. I've been listening to her music for decades, and this song is really kind of about, like, I think someone died, and her sisters are like trying to divide up the treasured items, and it's something like, I'm pissed off at my sisters and we're fighting about this stupid thing, and I already got really upset about this teapot, and it's like the whole song is like, it's about this, and I think at the end of the song, it's in Spanish, so I should mention that, but I think I looked up the lyrics because I'm not the best Spanish speaker, and it's like something about at the end, I think the teapot breaks or something, and the whole thing is just inconsequential, but it's a beautiful song, and she also is making everything so whimsical and majestic. She's a master at music and electronics and looping, and I love her voice, I love her singing, all of it.
She's great.
And then let me see if I can pull up the lyrics to this song because I don't really know them that well, but Nick Hakim, this song called Pour Another, these records that he just put out, which I believe were recorded previously, but he put them out last year. There's two of them, and I love Nick Hakim so much. I love his voice, and his songs are just, they feel like you're just laying around in the grass, and that's like the perfect time for me to listen to his music. And I love his vibe and everything. But the lyrics are: pour another glass of her warm smoke into the river and let it rest till my thoughts get weary until they float. I fill this room crazy, heart on the floor. Yeah, pour another glass of her warm smoke. And this it's kind of a mantra song, and more about the vibe. Like, his music is more about the vibe, and the lyrics. There's not a lot of lyrics, but it's a good vibe and it's a good feeling.
Yeah, just the way, like, I actually hadn't heard this song before, so this was kind of new for me, which was awesome. But yeah, the stuff, like, all the way that the vocals are sort of like layered and processed, even though there, like you said, there's not a lot of lyrics, it's so effective. Like, it just kind of wraps around you, and I need to go listen to the whole thing because it's it really good. Really good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All of these are such good songs.
Yeah. These two records, I think, I'm forgetting the name of these records. Maybe Where Will We Go? That might be it. But I really recommend checking out these these things that he finally put up on, put out there. So.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to do that sometime this week. I got a lot of stuff to listen to. Jeez, I got to look up the Bonnie Raitt version of God Only Knows. I got to look up. I'll be busy this afternoon.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, what's the best hype song?
This is sort of related to my time at U Cross in Wyoming, because I was very much getting hyped up by a lot of gospel music and really kind of in a Tamela Mann zone. I don't know if you know Tamela Mann, but she's
not
like
really
a gospel singer. She's probably in her 60s or something. She's a Texas. I think she was born in Fort Worth or something like that. So kind of close by where you are. And I went to school in Arlington, Texas, and lived in the Dallas area, as I mentioned before. So I'm not that far.
Yeah.
I feel like I went to, there used to be this club in Oklahoma City that I would drive to sometimes to see jazz music. And I'm like forgetting the name of it now. But it was like not far, so we would just drive.
Yeah, it's like 3-4 hours. It's not a bad.
Yeah, I think it's closed now. But anyway, Tamela Mann, she's like classic gospel singer. I think she started out playing with Kirk Franklin, who is like one of the fathers of gospel music, clearly.
Mm-hmm.
And she has this record with a song called Greater, and it's so good. It's really just like there's a breakdown, and I don't know how to not be on my feet during this moment. And her singing is insane, and I'm really influenced by gospel singing. I try my best, and obviously, like, I'm a white person, and over here interested in this music, but like a lot of my early childhood in Atlanta, I was around a lot of Black people who kind of brought me into this world and taught me this stuff. So I feel very much related to this music, and this song it gets me up. It makes me feel better every time I listen to it.
Yeah, I was like jamming out to it yesterday. It was if this is, I don't know. Yeah, it's like it you feel overcome, and which is, I imagine, kind of the point of it. Of gospel music is to, and it, man, her voice is ridiculous. It is so good.
Tamela Mann.
Okay, and it's going on I have like my sort of hype playlist, my workout or whatever. When I need to sit down and really bust out like a Grant or something, this is going on the playlist. So okay, last two questions. The big questions, maybe. I don't know. What's the song that means the most to you? Not necessarily the song itself, but because you associate it with something or someone, etc.
Yeah. This is a pretty normal song, but "Hey Jude" by the Beatles, and really, this is the answer. Is this because when my dad passed away, unfortunately, kind of an unexpected death for us and our family, and when he died, I just had all these fond memories of our sing-along sessions. And even though it was kind of a later thing with my dad, it was really nice that my current partner was able to meet him and spend so much time with him. And my partner plays all kinds of instruments, and he was always really down to play guitar and have sing-alongs. And that was awesome. Like one of the songs that my dad really wanted to sing and loved. Like, he loved this song. And so I had to, I felt like, I got to learn these lyrics. And then, knowing about the fact that Paul McCartney was writing these lyrics for Jules, the son of, I feel like, is it the son of John or is it the son of Paul?
Son of John.
One of their, okay. And then thought, that's kind of a mouthful, so let's change it to Jude. And so just the idea that it has to do with family and someone else's family, and that is such a joyful sing-along moment at the end. It's really for my dad.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I mean, God, like, I can imagine just like everybody just belting out the nah, nah. Like, how can you not just be overcome?
How can you not? How can you not sing along? And also, it just makes you feel better. Take a sad song and make it better. Like, okay, sure, let's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will never not be a sucker for a good, like, nah, 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 wordless chorus, outro, whatever, like,
yeah, totally. Definitely.
Those na-na-nas say more than most words could say.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, what is, at least in this moment in time, maybe it changes, I don't know, but as of right now, what is your favorite song?
It definitely changed. I feel like it definitely changes every day. So this is
so it's probably different now than it was.
But yeah, this is a song by Edward Duke Kennedy Ellington, and it's called "Come Sunday." And the first time I heard this song was their duo version with Mahalia Jackson and who I mentioned before, and Duke Ellington, but then there's also this Abbey Lincoln version on my favorite Abbey Lincoln record, which is called "Abbey Is Blue," and I just don't think there's a more perfect song. This song is beautiful. It stops me in my tracks, and this is another song I've tried to play instrumentally and just been like, I don't know. I've tried. I kept away from After the Rain, but this song I tried, and then I was like, I'm not sure if I can do this because it's just such a perfect song.
Yeah.
Lord, dear Lord, I've loved God Almighty. Yeah, just please look down and see my people through. And I realize that this song is written for the struggle of Black people, and the fact that he's giving this gift to us as musicians and listeners. He's gifting Black people have given us like such a gift for their music. I think about that a lot. I think about that every day and how lucky we are to live through this and see this and feel this in the moment, even though it was just came at the hands of so much struggle and awful shit that like went down for Black people and their families. But this song is gorgeous. I love all of the sort of visual aspects of the song, like lilies on the valley and the sun and I believe the sun and moon up in the sky when the day is gray. It's really a beautiful song.
It's a beautiful song.
And Duke Ellington wrote some really beautiful songs, and I know a lot of people, we do also honor Billy Strayhorn, who has written some of the greatest. I was thinking maybe I'll choose "Flowers, a Lovesome Thing," which I also think is one of the best songs ever written in life by Billy Strayhorn. But I somehow was choosing lots of songs with lyrics, but that's also another great song. But Duke wrote some good songs too. "Take the Coal Train" is a blues that I love that he wrote. Yeah.
That's a beautiful place to end. Like, we made it through. Thank you for working through all our technical difficulties. We got there. Yeah. It all worked out. So Fallows, of course, out now. And do you have? I'm sure you always have shows coming up. Oh my God, you're like one of the hardest working people in showbiz.
Well, I don't know if I'm in showbiz. You want to mention? Well, I'm doing something, but I'm about to leave for my tour, my second leg on the tour tomorrow, which is April 17th, and we're going up through the Northeast and Connecticut, some shows in Connecticut and Boston, Portland, Maine, and Vermont. So I'll be up there doing that, and then I'm coming back to play Bang on a Can with Marty Ehrlich. That should be really fun. Nice. That festival is all really fun. And then through May, I'm doing tours with a few different projects. One with Dustin Carlson. I came out with a record with him last year on Out of Your Head Records called Sprites. We're doing like a shorter 6-day tour. And then I'm doing a tour with my band, Portals, in the West Coast. And then I'm going to Jazz at St. Louis to play with Allison Miller's band. And then we're also playing at Birdland. So May is just like packed.
Wow.
Full of them. But the summer is more, I'm more relaxed, and I'm really excited to be around New York, play some local shows here. And so if you're around, bye.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Well, this will be out on Tuesday, which is the 21st. So I will link to all of link to all of it. So everybody go see or buy the record, all of it.
Thanks, Brad.
Once again, thank you to Caroline Davis for taking the time. We also had a number of technical difficulties throughout the recording of this, and so I'm really appreciative that she powered through and we found a way to get through it. And I think the episode turned out great. And hopefully you didn't even notice where I had to make edits, because I don't think they were that awkward, and maybe I'm just that good. Anyway, Fallows is out now on Rope-A-Dope. Check out the link to her picks playlist. All those links are in the bio. And also, her work with Creatives Beyond Carceration. That rules. That's so exciting. I don't know. This was a great episode. Gonna be off next week. Just need a break, and then I got a lot of cool episodes lined up and all that. And so thank you all for listening. Leave ratings, reviews, all that shit. Patreon.com/Foxy Digitalis. Cool stuff coming on the Jewel Garden. You know the drill. I love y'all. And until next time, keep on listening to whatever the hell you want.